from the global resources of ABC News with Terry Moran, Martin Bashir, and Cynthia McFadden in New York City. This is Nightline, September 17, 2008.
But when we come back, a menu serving 14,000 pork chops, 1,200 pounds of chili, and 8,000 hamburgers. It's not the biblical feeding of the 5,000. In Baytown, Texas, they're serving nearly 50,000. This old refinery town took a pounding from Hurricane Ike. No power, no utilities, and therefore few essential supplies. Now, in a remarkable effort by an army of volunteers, they've served enough hot meals to feed a football arena. And for many Texans who offered help during Hurricane Katrina, what goes around is coming around. Eric Hong now reports on life in Baytown.
25 miles east of Houston lies Baytown, a city in crisis. Like so many battered communities in this part of Texas, the basics of life disappeared overnight. While most didn't have to evacuate, 5 days after Ike's landfall, there is still no power, water, or gas. The aftermath of Ike has been especially tough on this old refinery town, population 70,000. 1 in 6 residents lives below the poverty line, and without the resources of a large city like Houston, Baytown faces a slow and daunting recovery.
How you doing, sir?
And so it is here, in Baytown, that we found one of the region's largest relief operations. From this former Kmart parking lot, a small army of volunteers has been serving free meals to tens of thousands of hurricane victims.
Hi, how many meals do you need? 7, okay.
Today, the tired and hungry lined up early in their cars. What would you do without this place?
Ooh, man, we'd be stuck. We'd be in a jam.
For many, it's the first hot food they've eaten in days, and the closest thing they now have to a drive-in. What have you been eating prior to this?
Whatever we had at the house.
Like?
Canned goods, meat that's thawed out.
Yeah, I mean, some of that food could be going bad.
Yeah, everything in my fridge is gone.
To have a hot meal and to have a meal in the middle of the day, that means something. Yeah.
It is a massive undertaking, feeding almost an entire city, quickly and safely. Greg Avery is one of the coordinators. And what does it take, logistically, to get all of these meals to all of these people?
Oh, miracle. We're using tilt skillets, we're using convection ovens. We have to feed the masses. Temperature is a serious issue, bacteria is a serious issue, so we're using pre-cooked foods and heating it up, basically.
You feel kind of like a field general out here?
Actually, I feel like a traffic cop.
This operation can serve 45,000 hot meals a day. On today's menu, 14,000 pork chops.
They have to be at least 165 degrees.
8,000 hamburger patties, and massive vats of chili.
That's called Texas clam chowder.
1,200 pounds in all. What's the secret ingredient in this chili?
Opening the can.
And heating it up.
And heating it up.
Not to mention thousands of servings of canned fruits and vegetables. Each styrofoam container has an entire day's worth of carbs and calories.
Typically, we're looking at 2,500 calories per meal. And, you say, wow, I'm not going to do that at home. Well, you're not going to go with 2 or 3 days without food or a soda or ice, at home.
In all, there are 300 volunteers working underneath these tents. The North Carolina Baptist men cook the food.
We'll probably get a bigger blessing out of it than they do.
The Red Cross distributes it. Plenty of people in Baytown can't come to the distribution center, so the Red Cross goes to them.
American Red Cross, we've got hot meals. Come on down.
After waking up the neighborhood, driver Susie Metzel sets up in a convenience store parking lot. You see the Red Cross rolling in.
Oh, somebody's trying to help us.
Erica Ibarra is 9 months pregnant. Are you getting the medical care that you need?
No.
You haven't been able to, and you're due any day now. Does that concern you?
Yeah, it does.
Metzel started volunteering for the Red Cross 7 years ago, right after 9/11. What drives her, she says, are these faces.
I feel like I can't quite do enough. There's nothing worse than running out of food and having people standing there. You know, that'll get you a little bit. But as long as we're feeding them, getting people food, then it's good. I'll go back tonight and cry a little bit, and then I'll get up in the morning and come back out and feed them again. That's what we do.
Thank you.
And so it goes, a massive effort to feed a community that will continue, volunteers say, as long as it's needed. Throughout the region, more than 1.5 million customers remain without electricity, but there are small signs of progress. Traffic lights coming back on, businesses reopening. Most schools, however, remain closed, and it could be a week or more, Martin, before many reopen.
Eric Hong, thank you.